King David, giant slayer, revered king, a man after God's own heart. He was one of history's greatest leaders. But David's greatest failures weren't on the battlefield, they were in his own home. This is the story of how a great king's family imploded through incest, murder, and civil war. A storm ignited by a father's silence and fueled by the fallout from his own sins. The tragedy begins with David's children: Amnon, the arrogant crown prince; Tamar, his beautiful half-sister; and Absalom, Tamar's fiercely protective brother. Amnon developed a twisted obsession for Tamar. Faking an illness, he lured her to his room and brutally assaulted her. Immediately, his desire turned to disgust, and he had her thrown out, leaving her disgraced and shattered. When King David heard what happened, he was furious, but he did nothing. Whether protecting his firstborn heir or silenced by his own past sins, his inaction lit the fuse for revenge. Tamar's brother, Absalom, took his sister in, and his rage grew cold and calculated. For 2 years, he said nothing to Amnon, patiently waiting for the right moment. 2 years later, Absalom threw a feast for the king's sons. When Amnon was drunk, Absalom gave the order, "Kill him." This was Absalom's brutal form of justice. He then fled into exile for 3 years. Though David eventually allowed him to return, Absalom's resentment had festered. He began a quiet political campaign, turning the people against his father. Soon, he had raised an army and declared a rebellion. David, the great unifier, was forced to flee Jerusalem as a fugitive from his own son. The resulting civil war was bloody. Before the final battle, David begged his commanders, "Be gentle with the young man Absalom for my sake." But Absalom's famous long hair became his downfall, trapping him in the branches of a tree. David's general, Joab, found him there and, ignoring the king's command, killed him. When the news of victory reached David, it meant nothing. He wept, "Oh my son Absalom, if only I had died instead of you." His family was destroyed. David's story is a shocking lesson in leadership failure at home. His silence after his daughter's assault triggered a catastrophic chain of revenge, rebellion, and death. It's a brutal reminder that private sins create public consequences. A kingdom built on strength was nearly destroyed by its own brokenness. For more videos, subscribe, share and hit the like button. Thanks for watching.